and my camera's frozen. Give me 1 second, guys, to fix that. There we go. Hey, what's going on? Hey, guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and tonight was Monday Night Raw. We got Luke here with us, and I thought tonight's Raw was pretty good. Looking back and thinking back on this show, I think I liked everything that happened on this show. I think, and that's rare for me to say I liked everything, but I think I did. I think I liked everything on this show. And I'm scrolling through my notes again just to see if I'm not remembering something. And I'm like, even the Nikki Bella segment that started out like crap because I'm not a big Nikki Bella fan, and Nikki cutting promos is meh, but Liv saved that. Liv killed her promo, like killed it on the mic. But yeah, I think I liked everything on tonight's Raw. Luke, what did you think of tonight's Monday Night Raw? I know you asked me earlier, you're like, did it feel long? Did it feel long for you?
I mean, like, no. I know some parts kind of felt long, but then some parts felt quick. But I know it kind of went a little bit over time. Like, did it not?
Well, yes and no. There's no time limit. It doesn't have to be 2.5 hours. It can go up to the 3-hour mark if they want. And I think this one went 245 maybe? 240. I think it went 240.
Yeah, but I thought it was a pretty good show. I mean, they did a pretty good job of starting up, like, building stuff for King of the Ring, which I did like.
Now,
and
go for it.
And they did I'd say they did a decent job of talking about like stuff that happened at Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm. And they did a great job promoting Mr. Iguana. He got his own video package and everything.
Yeah, do you know what's funny? Out of all the things that happened that weekend, the one person that people talk about the most is Mr. Iguana and Ron Killings.
Yep.
Those are the two people that people are talking about the most.
Mr. Iguana is about to make the big bucks. What did what's his name? Now my mind just went blank. Happy Gilmore. What did Chubbs say to Happy? You're primed to make the big bucks.
Yep.
That's gonna have a Mr. Iguana because they had Mr. Iguana at Stanford. I think it was today. He was at the headquarters. They filmed that vignette for him. They're working on multiple merchandising things. They want him on NXT. They're probably going to sell that puppet, or at least as a stuffed animal.
I was literally just about to say that. What if they start selling the iguana like on WWE Shop? Like,
I can see it.
And
maybe
the whole NXT crowd has their own iguana.
Maybe not as a puppet, but they'll sell it as a stuffed animal. Animal. I mean,
it'd just be a standard iguana, though. I mean, would it not?
Well, let me see. I'm going to pull up a picture of Mr. Iguana and see. Let's go WWE.com. Let's go to Worlds Collide. Because I don't know if his iguana looks any special or any different. But I'll pull up an image up of it here. Hold on. Worlds Collide only has one set of photos, so we got to scroll through. Good thing that was an early match. Let's see. Now, yeah, it looks like it's just a standard iguana. You know what I mean? I'll pull the image up here on the screen in a second. But WWE can do something to kind of change it up a little bit and make it their own.
Bang says needs to be a puppet.
Yeah, I would think so too, but I could see them doing both puppet or maybe just do the stuffed animal to get it out quick. I mean, I don't think it would be hard to make that into like a puppet that you could sell over and over and over. But as we look at it here, pull it up on the screen. If I could zoom in on it. Let's do it this way. So yeah, it just looks like a standard iguana. So I don't know what they would do to make it like, oh, this is his iguana. You know what I mean?
Unless they put Mr. Iguana like on the side of it.
I was thinking that too. Put that logo that they made for him, the one on the shirt. Put that on it, or even have the iguana wearing the shirt. You can do that too.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Actually,
have the iguana wearing the Mr. Iguana shirt. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, no, Mr. Iguana, like Chubb said, they're happy, primed to make the big bucks. Because they're all in. Because they saw the engagement he got on social media. They saw the crowd reaction to him live in the building. Then the big pop he got at Money in the Bank in the crowd. So, yeah, apparently, according to Fightful, they had a report up about it stating that saw the reaction he was getting on social media during Worlds Collide. And they're like, this guy needs to get to Money in the Bank. and we need to put him in the crowd. And so they did, got a big pop. Wrestlers in the back were asking to take a picture with him. Fans were walking up to him when they sat him in the crowd to go take pictures with him. This guy's going to make it. This guy's going to make it. I don't know how old he is, though. Mr. Iguana.
Well, he debuted in 2009. That's what he said.
Okay. I don't have an age.
No, how old?
36. According to his cage match, he is 36, which is not bad. There's a lot of wrestlers that are like, that's how old, isn't that how old AJ was when he made it to WWE?
Yeah.
No.
AJ, I think AJ was like a little bit older, actually.
Maybe 30.
AJ,
maybe 38.
no, AJ was like 40, I think.
Was he 40? Was he, what's AJ Styles' birthday?
I'm pretty sure, because like, how old is AJ now? Like almost 50?
That's what I'm about to do. So 1977. Oh, he had been 49 then. Because if you go 2016, 1977, would have been 39. So almost 40, yeah.
AJ was like almost 40 when he debuted.
Technically 38 because his birthday's in June. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. God damn, I forget AJ's almost 50. AJ's 48.
He said he's almost got like almost 2 years left in him.
Yeah, he said this contract's probably his last. But, oh, we lost Luke. We lost Luke. Give him a second. I don't know what happened there. We lost Luke, but we'll track on without him until he comes back in. But yeah, Mr. Iguana, they're gonna put that, as Edge and Christian used to say, strap the rocket to him and see what they can do. They're gonna hit the iron while it's hot, as they say, and go for it. We got Luke back.
Sorry, Wi-Fi isn't the greatest right now.
No,
but
you're good. But yeah, Mr. Iguana, he's gonna kill it.
I forgot. Like, what did we cut it off at before I accidentally got disconnected?
AJ only working this last contract before he retires.
Yeah, I think he said I think this is his last contract. Then he's gonna retire.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how many years he's got left. Is it 2 years left on his deal?
Let me see something really fast. I don't know, but I'm trying to see. Trying to see when he signed his last deal. I want to say he's got maybe 3 years left on it. No. Yeah, I'm not sure when he signed his last contract. So I'm trying to find out. Actually, what is this? Yep, that's not right. Unless AJ signed a new deal. So there was a rumor going around that his contract was up at the end of last year. I don't think that's right, unless he signed a new deal last year. I thought I had heard him say something in an interview, I think the Chris Van Vliet interview, that he's maybe got like 4 years. So I don't know. And that was just earlier this year. He might assume
once
go for it.
I would assume once his current deal is up and he retires, he'll probably just sign a Legends deal with WWE most likely.
Oh, 100%. But yeah,
because he did say like multiple times in the past that he still wants to do stuff with WWE, either as a coach or a scout or whatever.
So AJ could have 4 years left on his deal, I think, because he signed a contract in 19. And then if he's on a new deal, he would have signed it last year. So it's anywhere from 2 to 4. And whether he signed a 3 or a 5-year deal. And I want to say thank you to Jack Dawson for the super chat. We also got some bit donations over on Twitch as well. We'll get to those in just a moment. But yeah, so AJ's got a couple years left, and we'll see how that all does go. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can be like Esports Gaming Rules and donate some Twitch bits in the live chat, or you can donate by hitting the donate button down below. Also, remember, you can support the channel by subscribing one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos. That way you know we go live. And that way you know we post to the community tab. Also, remember, if you want to support us in another way and get some cool stuff, you can hit the join button and become a channel member. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name and emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat or that you can use in the comment section. As a channel member or a subscriber at patreon.com/PW Unlimited, you get access to our graphics tutorials and graphics packages as well. Like I always say, who else is teaching you something within wrestling and whatnot that can help you make some money? You learn to use Photoshop through us, and you can go make some money off of it. Whether you're at the $1 tier getting the tutorials or you're at the $5 tier getting both the tutorials and the graphics packages, we greatly appreciate the support. And finally, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, just like Jack Dawson, you donate a super chat in the live chat. Jack just stated, Raw was good this evening. With Gunther regaining the world title, do you see him dropping in at SummerSlam with a challenger or a different PLE? And Luke and I were talking about this. I think there's a good chance. So I had been saying on Friday and Saturday, hey, I think, god dang, Luke Paul wins the King of the Ring and then challenges Jay at SummerSlam. I don't think that anymore. With Gunther now the champion, I think they're going to go Sami Zayn. That's my prediction for King of the Ring. Sami, and he defeats Gunther. Only for maybe Seth to cash in at same day. Maybe they do like a SummerSlam rewind back to, what was it, 2014 when it happened to Bryan? Am I thinking the right year? 2014 maybe? Or
that was
2013.
That was 2013.
Okay, yeah.
Daniel Bryan beat John Cena at SummerSlam.
Then Randy.
And then Randy Orton cashed in.
You know, that's the only time on screen Triple H has ever held a Money in the Bank briefcase that I can remember.
Really?
Think about it. Have you ever seen him, other than when he was that ref and Randy cashes in his briefcase, he's ever held the case on television?
I actually did not know that.
Think about it. Like I can't think
There's
of another
another
time.
fact they said about Money in the Bank tonight.
About
Seth Rollins and CM Punk are the only two people to like win the Money in the Bank briefcase twice.
technically, yes, not per se. Edge is also a two-time Mr. Money in the Bank, but he didn't win the ladder match twice. That's the thing. Also, did you hear the crazy?
They said win the ladder match twice.
Right. But you hear the crazy story about that with Mr. Anderson on the Chris Van Vliet podcast recently?
What?
So Ken Anderson wins that Money in the Bank. And Undertaker's the champion. And Undertaker was hurt. So the plan was Batista's going to have a big cage match. And this is exactly how it went. Batista's going to have a big cage match with Undertaker. Undertaker's going to retain. Then Mark Henry's going to come out, beat him up, and then Ken was supposed to go and cash in. That was the plan. And they did that exact same thing, but with Edge. Well, what happened was there was like a 6 or 8 man tag team match on Raw a week before, I think it was. It could have even been like 3 days before or whatever, that Monday. And Batista gives Mr. Anderson this big ass clothesline in the corner, and it messes up his arm. And so they think he tore his tricep or something. They think he messed up his arm. Like they think he's out, needs surgery and everything. Doctor looks at it, like WWE's doctor, and they're like, oh no, you need to go get this checked out. You're going to be gone, out, surgery, everything. And so, you know, that word gets back to Stephanie McMahon, who was in charge of SmackDown Creative at the time. And she's like, Ken, they're telling me you're injured. We need to get the briefcase off you because we need to get the title off of Undertaker, and we need to use the money in the briefcase. That's the plan to do it. Whatever. So they get the briefcase on Edge. Edge cashes in and gets the title from Undertaker. And then Kennedy goes, sees a doctor, and the doctor goes, oh, no, it's just a little hematoma. You'll be good in about a couple weeks. So
yeah, that's always been the story. I heard that before.
He just told it on the Chris Van Vliet podcast recently, and I had never heard it before. That he said,
I've heard it before.
I forget what he said, but he's like, one of my friends, I forget who, always says, you were one misdiagnosis away from being a world champion.
Yep.
Yeah, what a story. He was hurt, but he was not injured and didn't need time out or time off. But yes, Mr. Kennedy was supposed to be world heavyweight champion. Let me see here. Oh, those are okay. Never mind. We're gonna skip those. Also, finally, guys, remember if you want to help us out another way, you can head over to the Epic Games Store. For some reason, that's not popping up on the screen. But head over to the Epic Games Store. There's the new season of Fortnite, the Super Season, which we played a little last night on stream, which is, from what I've played so far, I was having computer issues, so I didn't get to play too much. But what I played so far, it seems like a fun season. It seems like it's going to be cool. You get Corn Sweat as Superman. You get a cool Robin skin. And if you're going to get that Battle Pass, you need to buy the V-Bucks. And when you do, whether that's in the store all the way at the bottom where it says you have a creator code or through the Epic Games Store, use our code PWU NLIMITED. That's Pro Wrestling, our PW Unlimited for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. They also have a super sale going on right now till the 12th. But as far as this Raw does go, so John Cena opens up the show. And like, I started the show late. Like, I was making dinner and I realized, oh crap, it's 7:05. Raw's already on. I turn it on, Netflix, everything. I'm like, oh, they're still doing recaps and Cena's just barely come. Okay, never mind. I'm good. I didn't miss nothing. I thought I missed something. Nope.
Yeah, you didn't really miss anything.
Didn't miss nothing for the first 5 minutes of this show. Anyway, so Cena comes out. He enters the ring. He was introduced by Alicia Taylor as the greatest of all time, the last real world champion. Cena wore purple and orange to match the Phoenix Suns. And finally, about 10 minutes in, he finally spoke. I'm like, damn, okay. And so Cena says, truth was a lie. The fans wasted their energy on a sideshow comedian whose greatest achievement is pretending to be him. Crowd chants, we want truth. Cena asked if, give me one second, there we go. Cena asked if those chants actually accomplished anything, which they did. The fans were all keyboard warriors and armchair activists who don't really have power for anything. Our truth was a gimmick that they don't even care about and won't care about in a year. Cena has limited time on his farewell tour. He said, we got 36 dates. We last counted after the Raw after WrestleMania, so let's count again. And he's naming dates and places he's been, and he goes, we're down to 19. So there are 19 more dates for John Cena. We know he's going to be on SmackDown this week because they revealed the Lexington gear, so we did see that. He said, we're halfway through. The fans shouldn't waste their voice sending him a class clown. They should spend their energy sending him real competition. He's already beaten the best by beating Truth, Cody, and Randy Orton. And out would come, well, a man that's always called himself the best in the world, CM Punk. Punk came out and said, I got a lot to get off my chest. He called it ironic that the Boy Scout wants to ruin wrestling and ruin the establishment that made him, while the punk rock kid from Chicago was seemingly defending said establishment. Punk wanted to make things clear. I wasn't defending that he wasn't defending the establishment. Punk wasn't defending TKO or all the billionaires in charge. It's the people that are in the back. The people that support the wrestlers, that support pro wrestling. So maybe Cena was mad that the establishment picked him while the people didn't. People never picked him. They picked Punk back in 2012 or 2011 and made him the voice of the voiceless. Punk said that Cena was wrong, claiming that he'd faced the best. He said, yes, Cody is the best we got. But Cena only won because he took cheap shots. Punk wasn't about to kiss his ass or kiss the ass of a, quote, final boss because the people were Punk's boss. It was Punk's job to give the people what they wanted. And they wanted they wanted the truth. And they got Ron Killings. He said it was time for Punk to teach Cena what it was to speak on the spoke of the wheel. Punk recalled Cena saying he was sorry after pinning Punk in Elimination Chamber, after Seth Rollins stomped him. Cena knew what he did wrong. He knew that he messed up, and the fans started chanting, you sold out. Punk would then go on to talk about the dates and this and that and say, hey, we haven't done this since 2012. And then Punk had a list of goals. He said, my goal was never to be the world champion. But I'm afraid I have to do it now. I have to take that title from you. He's like, and I want to fight you for the belt. How about we do it right here tonight in Phoenix, Arizona? Cena kind of turns around, he looks back, and he puts the belt up in Punk's face, and he says, no, we're not doing it here. Cena said to Punk, "You can follow me to Saudi Arabia, and we can do this at Night of Champions." The mic then goes down, and you can kind of hear and see Punk go, "You're on." So later on in the night, they did officially announce it. Punk is going to Saudi, which he said he would never do. They will be doing John Cena versus CM Punk for the Undisputed WWE Championship in Saudi Arabia. Seth Rollins will then come out. This is kind of short and sweet. He just showed off his Money in the Bank briefcase, basically let them know, hey, I'm coming for the title. And there we go. Really good opening segment. Shocked that they're doing the match in Saudi Arabia. I thought, Punk won't go to Saudi. Maybe they'll do it at night or Saturday night's main event. Nope. They're doing it in Saudi. What'd you think of the segment and the big match announced?
It was a pretty good opening segment. I assume this is going to be the main event for Night of Champions.
Oh, 100%. It's got to be. CM Punk versus John Cena? Oh, for sure. Here's the
Last time ever.
Yes, and here's the cool thing. We don't got to stay up till like 9, 10 o'clock at night to watch it. It's a Saudi show. That thing will be over by 3.
I will say this, though. I know a lot of people criticize WWE for going to Saudi, like a lot,
right.
But the one benefit out of this is you get to watch a WWE premium live event in the afternoon on Saturday. Then once that show's over, you have the rest of your day to do whatever you want.
I mean, think about when they go to Australia. That's an overnight in the middle of the night show, but still, you got your whole day.
Get up at like 5 in the morning, though, to watch the Australia one.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Since Saturday says also Miz winning it twice. No, Miz did not win the ladder match twice. Miz held the briefcase twice because he beat Otis for it, but he did not win the ladder match twice.
They're talking about people who won the ladder match twice. It was Punk and Rollins.
Yes. The only two to win the Money in the Bank ladder match 2 times.
Here's the thing that I do want to say that I think is dumb that fans keep saying. People are mad that LA Knight didn't win Money in the Bank because people keep saying this was his 3rd time in Money in the Bank and he lost, and people keep complaining about it.
How many times has like Kofi been in Money in the Bank? It's got to be 2 or 3 or 4. I've seen Kofi in a couple of them. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull up a list of Money in the Bank.
Kofi's been like 3 or 4. Yeah, you don't see people complaining about that.
Let me see. Money in the Bank ladder matches. Well, tell me everybody that's been in them. Let me see. Just want to see list of freaking Wikipedia. Do I got to go to another? There we go. List of
Cody's been in a couple, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see. Let's see who we got there. I mean, Jericho's been in a couple and never won.
Big Show.
Shelton Benjamin's been in 4. Let's see. Shelton anywhere else? Let me see this. Shelton.
What about John Morrison?
2. I was going to look that name up next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shelton Benjamin was in 5 Money in the Bank ladder matches and never won. Let me see. Oh, can we do this? Here we go. Most appearances in Money in the Bank. So let's see. Let's go by appearance. Kofi Kingston, 7.
And never won.
Christian, 6. Never won. Jericho, 5. Never won. Benjamin, 5. Never won. Cody was in 4 and never won.
I think Creative had him come close in 2012. Because I know
he was supposed to win the Sandow year, I think, at one point.
I know in 2012, Nick Nemeth said in an interview, he was like, it's like WWE, they never wanted me to win a world title. They said, you're not winning against Punk. You're not going to win this match. Money in the Bank. It's either going to be you or Cody.
So I had also heard a story once before that the year Sandow won, they were contemplating if Cody would win that year.
That was like back-to-back years because
so.
I know they were contemplating either him or Ziggler, and the next year is him and Sandow.
Morrison's been in 3 Money in the Bank ladder matches. Here's some more 3s. Kevin Owens never won at 3. Ricochet never won at 3. Sami Zayn never won at 3. Nakamura never won at 3. LA Knight never won at 3. So yeah. Jack Dawson.
Ricochet 3.
Jack Dawson. Kane has won Money in the Bank. He's been in 7, but he won that 1 year, and then he cashed
He
in
won
on Ray.
in 2010, then cashed in the same night against Ray.
Yep. Next, Jack
That
Dawson's
was also
King,
a good Money in the Bank match, honestly.
Yeah.
That 2010 one to win the World Heavyweight briefcase, that was
Yeah.
a good Money in the Bank match. I thought that was better than the Money in the Bank for the world title.
Yeah. I'd have to go back and watch, but I think so.
That was one of my favorite Money in the Bank matches, honestly.
Oh, RVD's also. Oh, no, RVD did win. Never mind. RVD won. I forgot about that one. And then he cashed it in. Cashed it in at One Night Stand.
Sheamus won. I know that.
And then he cashed it on Roman. It's Survivor Series.
What Roman? That's another one.
I don't even think Roman's ever been in a Money in the Bank.
Yeah, he has. 2015.
Was it?
Bray Wyatt screwed him over.
Yep. His only Money in the Bank appearance. Ric Flair's been in a Money in the Bank ladder match. Was that WrestleMania 23?
Don't remember that one.
Ric Flair was in a Money in the Bank ladder match. Let's see. I'll say that was WrestleMania. WrestleMania 22. Okay, I got it mixed up. 22. The year RVD one. It was Bobby Lashley, Fit Finlay, Matt Hardy, Ric Flair, Shelton Benjamin. Jeez. 2006.
Matt Hardy's he's got to be in a couple of them as well.
I think Matt Hardy had 4. Let me pull it back up.
Matt Hardy never won.
Matt Hardy was in. I just saw it. Where was he? Appearances. Matt Hardy has been in 4. Never won. So there you go. 4, never won. But yeah, the most of anyone that's not won is Kofi in 7. I knew Kofi had been in like 4 or 5. I didn't know it was 7. But moving forward, Wade Barrett was on commentary tonight. Pat McAfee had the night off. Not sure exactly where that was. I didn't watch Pat's show today, so I didn't see any of that. I usually watch McAfee, or at least a little bit of it most days, but I didn't catch any of it today. So I don't know what was going on with Pat, but I'm going to say right now, Wade Barrett might be becoming one of my favorite commentators. I think he's just so good on commentary. Also,
he's like the perfect like secondary guy to have.
Yes.
Like if you have Michael Cole, he's like the perfect guy behind Michael Cole.
Yeah. Also, the way he yells "yeah" for LA Knight, he goes "yeah," like with his raspy and then his like British accent, he says it's so good.
No, absolutely. I absolutely love Wade on commentary. Like I really do.
Yeah, so do I. So,
anyway, like because the main point I was trying to get with LA Knight, like not winning Money in the Bank, there's been plenty of people who've been in Money in the Bank a lot more times than he has, and they never won.
Yeah,
which I get. You know, LA Knight, he's a little bit older, so a lot of people are kind of worried what they're going to do with him now. They'll probably just because people are just going to think that WWE's just going to have him be like a guy losing a bunch of matches now. But I don't know. We'll see.
So next up, they announce the brackets for money or for King and Queen of the Ring, and I'm going to pull these up on the screen so we can talk about these brackets. Let's do. Wrong thing. Let's close that. Let's open that. Let's zoom that out a little bit. There we go. So first off, we do have the King of the Ring graphics. So tonight we saw Sami Zayn, Penta, Braun Breaker, and Dominic Mysterio. Sami has advanced. I assume it's this Friday. It could be the other side, but I assume it would be this Friday. Randy Orton, LA Knight, Aleister Black, Carmelo Hayes.
Gee, just spoil Randy's return, why don't you?
Not even the worst one. Not even the worst one.
I know Asuka, but like still.
So have they said, I didn't see when the second round will take place? Is that at Night of Champions, or will that be on a Raw or SmackDown before?
Probably a Raw or SmackDown before.
Because it's going to be an interpromotional match. It's going to be a Raw guy versus SmackDown guy in the second round. So on the other side, it's Cody Rhodes, which I was shocked to see. Damian Priest.
Oh, yeah, that's a shocking one. I didn't expect Cody.
So Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Andrade Nakamura. We'll do predictions here in a second. And then on the next week on Raw, we have Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and a mystery person where they go, Adam Pearce got it negotiated that he could take a week to figure out who the last guy is going to be. And I'm like, what? Why? And I was thinking Logan Paul at first, but then when you look at this, I'm like, no, they're all like big monster guys. So who could that mystery man be? I don't know. They're going to call up
somebody from NXT.
I was just going to say, they're going to call up Obafemi to put him in here. I saw people on Twitter going, Ricky Saints. No, it's not. They're not booking Ricky Saints in this match unless they're booking him to get pinned. I don't know who that mystery person could be. If you think about it as being all big men, I don't know who it can be.
It doesn't have to be all big men. I think if he's cleared, I can see it being Rey Mysterio.
Ray's not cleared.
He's not.
No, Ray's only been injured for a couple months. That injury, he's gonna take a while. It was surgery and everything, and it was groin, and he had 2 injuries. I can't remember what the other one was, because he had abductor surgery and then ruptured eardrum, which that can heal quickly. But I just don't know who this other guy, because I'm just thinking big man because the other 3 guys in the match, you know. But
well, let's look at the roster.
All right, let's pull up the WWE roster then.
Ooh, what if it's El Grande Americano?
Oh man, I could actually see that. That would not shock me at all. That wouldn't shock me at all, actually. But I got the roster here.
Is Chad Gable in this as well?
No.
Well, like Chad Gable isn't in it, but El Grande is.
So we're looking here. We're scrolling through. El Grande would make sense for the way they're pushing him. As we're looking, I'm just not really seeing anybody that I could see fitting with those other 3. You know what I mean? Unless you put an El Grande in there because you want the high flyer guy, I guess you would say, with the big men. No, that wouldn't work. I was gonna say Jacob Fatu, but it's a Raw match.
Nah, Jacob. They're not gonna put Jacob in this. They got Jacob doing this thing against Solo now.
Why not? They put the Intercontinental Champion in it, and I won't stop watering. They put the Intercontinental Champion in it.
The only way I see Jacob being in it is if he gets screwed over by Solo.
I'm looking here, and I just don't see anybody that fits. You know what I mean? Ooh, we got a new Paul Heyman render. That's new.
Surprised Phoenix isn't in this.
That would work too. You put the luchador with the big men. He's a SmackDown guy, so that wouldn't work anyways.
But still, even as a SmackDown guy, he's not even in this.
Right. Yeah, unless it's a return that I'm not thinking of, I'm not quite sure. But regardless, we look at the Queen of the Ring. Well, first off, hold on. Predictions. So who do you see winning down here? Orton, Knight, Black, Hayes. I assume Braun Breaker. I assume Braun Breaker comes to SmackDown and screws LA Knight. Yeah.
Probably Orton.
That's what I would think. So then we get Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn.
It's probably going to be Orton pinning Carmelo Hayes, most likely.
That would work. And then on the other side over here, Cody.
Probably. Most likely, yeah. Unless somebody screws over Cody.
John Cena, maybe? Because that's going to be a back and forth for the rest of the year, I think.
Because is that match this Friday?
They have not said which one is this Friday. I would assume it's this side since we were working this side already. You know what I mean? The women also had the left side of the bracket for Raw.
Because it also depends when Cena's going to be back, though.
Cena will be on Raw. Cena's on SmackDown Friday.
If he's not on SmackDown next week, then...
True. I haven't looked at the schedule to see if he's advertised or not.
Have they announced all the dates he's going to be on?
Not all of them. I think we have up until the Perth shows. So, Crown Jewel. I think we know all till Crown Jewel. They haven't said anything after that.
Because if he's going to be on that SmackDown that Cody's competing, he could screw over Cody, then maybe... Can you go back to that graphic real quick?
Give me 1 second. Yeah. Go for it.
Because I can see maybe like a Damian Priest winning.
That's what I would think. If it's not Cody, then Priest, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he'll probably pin Shinsuke most likely. Shinsuke he's just in matches get pinned now.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate it if it's like Damian Priest wins that one and then faces Bronson Reed in the second round.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because I can see Seth and them helping Bronson Reed. But you say that, but no one came out to help Braun Breaker tonight. They made him do it on his own. I don't know. Or Priest and Sheamus. That would be a good one too.
Priest and Sheamus, yeah. Priest or Rusev.
I mean, Priest versus any of those three. Again, we can't really fully predict it because we don't know who that fourth guy is. Chat, who do you think?
I'm curious to see who actually. I can totally see whoever that mystery man is
winning it,
depending if they go to finals.
Like, chat, who do you think this mystery fourth person is? Is it a Logan Paul? I said it over the weekend that maybe it's Logan Paul, but you know, I thought Logan Paul would be
El Grande.
I thought Logan would be in the tournament, but he's not. We have a mystery spot, and there's the thing. Everyone's like, why are they gotta have a mystery man? Because if it's Logan, the fans would probably bitch and moan. So you don't tell them it's Logan until the match. They don't bitch and moan about it all week. You know what I'm saying?
It could be Logan. Honestly,
yeah.
if Logan goes to the finals, because like they're gonna put Logan on Night of Champions show because I know Saudi really likes Logan.
Well, yeah, doesn't he work he's worked every Saudi show since he signed, I think.
He worked every Saudi show because like the Saudis like or people in Saudi like really like Logan.
All right, guys. Now, first off, it's not going to be Big E. Big E can't even freaking wrestle, and it's not going to be Ilya Dragunov because he's been out for 7 months with a full ACL reconstructive surgery. He's not anywhere near ready to cleared. I could be wrong, but last we heard, which was like maybe a month ago, he was nowhere near ready. So, and yeah, it can't be Big E. At this time, Big E's career is potentially over. Karrion Kross?
Well, he said...
Ooh, that's one. Karrion Kross, maybe?
Ooh, Karrion Kross. I didn't even think about that one. I don't even know what... I know Triple H really wants to like push Karrion Kross, but I don't think he wants to do anything with him till like he signs a new deal.
That is true. I mean, you can put him in this match and it'd be fine, but no, Kross's deal's up in like the next 2 months or so.
Yeah.
So that's a big iffy. But just going forward here, we also have the women's Queen of the Ring tournament. We did see Roxanne Perez advance on the left side here. Like I said, I think this is the left side going first. So we'll get this match probably Friday on SmackDown. It's Jade Cargill, Michin, Piper Niven, Nia Jax. Then over on the other side is Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, Candice LeRae, Asuka, Stephanie Vaquer, Raquel Rodriguez, and Ivy Nile. Now, this is kind of a tough one. So we know Roxanne's already gone, whatever. I think Jade makes it to the second round as well. I think Jade makes it to the finals.
Make it to the finals.
That's what I was going to say. I think Jade goes to the finals. And on the other side...
You know, I can honestly see happening out of this.
Charlotte and Jade in the finals?
Yeah, maybe, but...
So here's the thing.
What if Jade wins?
Go for it.
And then, like, I think Jade could win this, like, this whole tournament. Maybe, like, win like, the title at SummerSlam, then Naomi, like, cashes in on her.
The same night? Because that's what I predicted for Sami Zayn.
Or at some point, maybe.
No, I think that is the big thing they're going to do. I think Jade wins the tournament, Jade wins the title, and then eventually Naomi cashes in on her and is like, see, I told you I'm better than Jade. But then the whole time, Jade can be like, you only beat me because you cashed in after I was already beat down and hurt and tired. You can't beat me straight up. And then they have a match where it's one-on-one for the belt. And I think that's going to be a long-term story going towards the end of the year, for sure.
They'll probably wrap it up at, like, Royal Rumble, most likely.
Or they could do Survivor Series in San Diego. That's supposed to be a big show.
They'll probably, maybe they might have them both in War Games, maybe.
I could see that. But as
depending
far as
on what War Games is going to be.
As far as that right side, though, I could see Charlotte winning her.
So it's both SmackDown women then.
In the finals, potentially. And that's what I was talking about when we learned of the brackets on Sunday or Saturday. I was like, you know, last year's King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring was Raw versus SmackDown in the finals. This year doesn't have to be that with the way the brackets go. So I actually like that it's less predictable that way as far as who's going to make the finals. Does it not just have to be, well, which Raw person makes it, which SmackDown person makes it? And so I think Charlotte wins. Maybe Asuka wins hers. Charlotte beats Asuka. And then we go Jade, Charlotte in the finals. Now, there had been a rumor that they were going to do Jade versus, here's the thing. There was a rumor that they were going to do Jade versus Charlotte at Evolution. But that has changed because PW Insider had a report today, and I didn't report on it because I wasn't 100% like, I don't know if I believe it, that it's now shifted from Jade and Charlotte to Jade and Naomi at Evolution. So I don't know. But then at the same time, that would kind of ruin the whole Money in the Bank, Naomi cashing in on Jade thing if they have their singles match before, you know?
Yeah.
But I think we'll talk about it later with Nikki Bella stuff. But I think we did get our first tease of, you know, the first match for Evolution. But thinking of, and this is the last thing I got for this, thinking of it being Charlotte and Jade in the finals, they did have a little stare down a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown. So they're teasing that match eventually happening sometime soon. But moving forward,
I think it's
go for it.
It's kind of weird that they're putting Piper Niven in this tournament, not Alba Fire.
Yeah, I think this is going to sound bad to me. I think they're kind of interchangeable at the moment with the gimmick, and Piper is just, in my opinion, slightly the better wrestler. Alba's still great. I think Alba Fire is a great wrestler, but I think Piper is slightly better than Alba.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell right now because I haven't really seen like Piper do as much as she could do right now, mainly because of like the stuff that they're having her do.
Go watch SmackDown. She had a goddamn no DQ match that she almost killed herself.
It's been a while since I've seen like a really good like Alba match though.
Alba fought Zelina a couple weeks ago on SmackDown.
It's been a while since I've seen like an actually like really good like Alba match though.
The fuck are you talking about, Kevin
Abreu?
Kevin Abreu says Tim versus Dave Meltzer. That was rumored too forever. Yeah, I'm gonna time your ass out, you troll ass motherfucker. Yeah, I'm not playing with these. I'm not playing with these trolls in the comments and the chats anymore. Like, no, not gonna give them the satisfaction. Just gonna time them out. You do it again, you get banned. But you know, it was really good.
It depends on what they're saying, though. You don't have to like.
Well, we had someone in the chat last night during the Fortnite stream that goes, "Hey, I want your opinion. Who do you think's the worst female wrestler ever?" Or something like that. I'm like, well, first off, I'm not even gonna dignify that with a response. Like, they don't need negativity like that to chat. Anyways, you know, it was great. It was AJ Styles and Chad Gable. These two worked very well together. For some reason, my notes just froze. So give me 2 seconds to refresh it. The opening match here finally started about 35 minutes into the show. It went about 90 seconds and we went to a break. Well, match went about 8 minutes. Half of that was during a break. And then after the break, Styles overcame some interference. The Creeds tried to get involved multiple times. Then Chad Gable put in the ankle lock. AJ reversed it into a Styles clash and then pinned Chad Gable to pick up the victory. But I thought these two worked very well together. What did you think of the match?
Oh, yeah, these two worked pretty well together. I know I saw your tweet like earlier today, like the WWE announced this match. I don't see it anywhere, but
so yeah, people were tweeting, we're getting Chad versus AJ tonight. Chad versus, I guess somebody, I don't even know who the guy is. I've seen him tweet a couple things and then I don't even know if he's got actual sources, but he was right on this one. Some guy tweeted out, I guess he works for bodyslam.net or whatever, tweeted out AJ versus Chad Gable planned for tonight. I'm like, okay, I didn't report it or write it up, anything about it because it's not from somebody like a PW Insider, a Fightful, a Meltzer, you know what I mean? So I wasn't 100% on it. It's a new guy. They got something right. Cool. But moving forward, backstage, Roxanne Perez suggested to Liv Morgan that they work together to ensure that one of them win. Morgan was not on board. We did have our first Queen of the Ring match. It was a fatal four-way. Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, Roxanne Perez, and Liv Morgan. Morgan reluctantly worked with Perez early on, but not long. They set up for a double superplex on Zayn. Ripley got underneath them and a Tower of Doom spot, double powerbomb, superplex, and so forth. But Zayn followed this up. She didn't actually get the superplex. Zayn followed this up with a flying forearm on Ripley for a 2. Morgan and Perez then worked together again, sort of, to regain control. Morgan then hit Zayn with a backstabber, a move that she, does here and there. But Cole was like, oh, that's an homage to Carlito. And I'm like, she's been doing this match since before. Like, she's been doing the backstabber since, like, before she was Miss Money in the Bank and, like, that long ago. So I wouldn't call that a homage to Carlito. And then Cole even referencing that, I'm like, oh, damn, okay. You just reference Carlito's gone finally. Okay. Ripley fired up and laid everybody out. Morgan tried to catch her off guard with an Oblivion, but Ripley caught her with a Riptide. Ripley had the match won, but Raquel Rodriguez appeared out of nowhere to pull Ripley out of the ring and break up the cover. Ripley and Rodriguez brawled, and Zayn wiped them out with a dive. Zayn follows this up with an insane elbow on Morgan and seemingly had it won, but Perez caught Zayn in a jackknife cover, saved Liv, but then stole the win here, kind of, I guess you could say, by pinning Kyrie and advancing to the second round of the Queen of the Ring tournament. I thought the match was pretty good. I wouldn't call it like great or anything, but I thought for a first round 4-way, it was exactly what it needed to be. What'd you think?
Oh, yeah. I think this was exactly what it needed to be, and I think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, usually we see these 4-ways, and they're kind of like, oh, we're just waiting for who's going to get pinned. Oh, the one you could tell. But I wasn't really sure in this match because I thought there was even a chance that like Liv pins Raquel or not Raquel, Roxanne, or Roxanne pins Liv. I didn't think Rhea was taking the pin. Oh, no. But I thought there was a chance maybe like Raquel or Roxanne. I keep saying Raquel. Roxanne pins Liv and Liv gets all pissed off afterwards. And she's like, why'd you pin me? Why'd you pin me? And she was like, I didn't mean to. I don't know. But yeah. Anywho, Roxanne does move on to the second round of the tournament, and Liv was pissed. So Becky Lynch was walking through the back, and as she passed past Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, they're fighting. Well, not fighting fists with, they're arguing. Like they're mad at each other for some reason. I don't know what's going on with them. We see more with them a little bit later, at least Grayson Waller with the New Day. So, for some highlights. Also, they showed Becky at the start of the show walking into the building. She wearing a goddamn Miss Rachel shirt. That's pretty funny. But there were highlights from Worlds Collide. There was a video package for the main event, and then another video package hyping up Nikki Bella. And then we see Maxine and Natty watching the Nikki video, and then Nikki pops up. And Nikki was like, Maxine, so great to meet you. Natty, I've missed you. I haven't seen you in so long. And I'm like, cool, whatever. And then she walks up to EO. And Nikki puts over EO, and she's like, you're carrying yourself as a champion. You're doing great holding up this division. And EO says to Nikki, I want to thank you for paving the way for all of us. And I'm like, you should be thanking AJ Lee, because during that time, it was AJ Lee holding this division on her back. Yeah, the Bellas were, like Liv Morgan said later, reality stars. And they were bigger names than AJ Lee because they were on E and had the show Total Bellas. But when you really look at it, who was the top woman during that time? AJ frickin' Lee. It was AJ. Heck, I would even say it was more AJ, more Paige, and more Beth Phoenix holding the division down and making the division actually seem credible. Nikki, then maybe you could put her in like that 4th spot. Any thoughts on all of that?
I know AJ was definitely like the bigger star. Paige, I know Paige was pretty up there as well.
You got to kind of phrase that a certain way, though. Nikki was the bigger star to the mainstream. AJ was the bigger star to the wrestling fan. Remember, Total Divas. Yeah. Total Divas was not just a show for wrestling fans. I know plenty of women that watch Total Divas, but will not watch an episode of Raw or SmackDown. They will not watch actual wrestling, but Total Divas is one of their favorite shows.
Total Divas was great when it first came out.
Roxanne Perez was on an episode of Total Divas.
Yeah. I totally forgot about this. I don't know if this actually happened, but like there's a tweet saying that like Nia Jax said that Total Divas was fake, and she planned on exposing it on the Renee Paquette podcast.
No. Now,
I
here's
don't
the
think
thing.
that happened, but
Here's the thing. Total Diva, all reality shows are fake to an extent because the producers set up moments and set, like when you see, especially on Total Divas, I know this one for sure. There was one time where they all together and only the women on the show went on a vacation together. And I forget where they went, but they were like all in a hot tub together at one point and everything. That was something I had heard in the past. That was one of the things set up by the producers for an episode. Like, hey, we got an idea where we want you all to go on like a ski weekend together or something like that. If we want you all to go on vacation together. That's not related to, you know, where you're going for a show or anything like that. And so, you know, because they were all them, they all got the weekend off from doing the house shows and they went on this vacation together. It's a whole thing. But all reality shows do that. All reality shows, whether it's one of the other ones like the Vanderpumps or the Grizzlies or whoever it is, producers will set up moments and events and things for them to do if they think it would be entertaining and a good thing for the show. So, yeah. Most reality shows are more fake than not. Like freaking Jersey Shore. There's a lot of stuff that's been come out that, oh yeah, that was fully set up, or that wasn't even real, or that they hired actors to do roles on the, like, yeah. Moving forward, Becky Lynch does come down to the ring, the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. And she wondered where her "you deserve it" chants were as the crowd was booing her. Says she didn't need to hear it anyways because she knows that she deserves it. She knows she's the best. She should be out here celebrating, especially since there are so few opportunities left for her to celebrate. She's won everything, and there's not much more for her to win. She's like, I've won every title. I'm a best-selling author. Now I got this belt. Actually, Palpatine, the Grizzlies are out of jail. Trump pardoned both of them. They're out of jail. And crazy thing about the Grizzlies is the kids and the mom, Nanny Faye, have been announced for a new reality show on E! So now that could shift to Grizzlies out of jail and them coming back to the real world. But the three kids and the grandma, maybe the four kids, because I think the niece. Anyways, I read recently they're supposed to get a new reality show, not on USA, but on E! Channel. And mom and dad are out of jail. So, funny thing, Sean. What? Go for it.
The only thing I remember Chris Lee knows best was like back in the day when before I was getting ready to watch Raw, that show was always on. Well, like so on the USA Network.
They would run the reruns always, and then the new episodes would come on right after Raw. Funny thing, Sean Ross Sapp stated like 2 weeks ago, the mom was in jail, like down the street. The jail the mom was at is down the street from his house. Yeah. I think he said something like, it's like there's my house and a park and then the jail or something like that. Anyways. Where was I? So Becky said the biggest opportunity that this title has ever gotten was her winning it. She welcomed the belt to the big time and said it's now time. The biggest prize in the business. She should have been celebrating with her hot husband and beautiful child. She wasn't, because it's this generous bird lady known as Lyra Valkyria who ruined everything. Valkyria raised her hand so aggressively that she thought she dislocated her shoulder. Lynch claimed that Valkyria tried to kill her when she attacked her after the match. Lynch called out Valkyria to do properly. Valkyria came down through the crowd and she had the angry cartoon mean mugging. But then Bayley would return and attack Becky from behind, beat her ass. Becky would crawl out of the ring, but she would back up into Lyra. Lyra would throw her back in the ring. Bayley cracked her a couple more times, and then Becky bailed and left through the crowd as Bayley was trying to hit her with a rose plant. So Bayley's back, looking great. Bayley's been showing off a quote unquote her transformation on social media. She's been working out a lot more. She's been posting a lot of workout stuff on social media and talking about how she's been dropping some weight and stuff. So she looked great. Any thoughts on all this?
Oh yeah, this was great. Honestly, I liked it.
So now here's my question: what's the match that they just set up here? Is it Bayley and Becky? Is it another Becky and Lyra? Is it a three-way? And where? Night of Champions, Saturday night's main event, or Evolution? Also, I'm going to say it. I had someone message me and ask me a very interesting question. So on the 12th of July, they have both NXT Great American Bash and Saturday Night's Main Event. The next night, they have Evolution. The question that was asked to me was, is there a chance that both Great American Bash and Saturday Night's Main Event don't have a women's match, so that all the women's matches that weekend are only on Evolution? That's the first part of the question. Would you think that that's something they do? All the women's matches that weekend are only at Evolution, not Saturday Night's Main Event, not Great American Bash.
That is a great question. Personally, no. Mainly because I feel like if they did that, then you're gonna get quite a few fans complaining, like, oh, like, are these women not good enough to be on these shows? You gotta like separate the men from the women.
That was the second part of the question that I got asked. If they were to do that, would fans get upset and mad that they do a Saturday Night's Main Event on NBC with no women's match? Because
I feel like
that's
they
the
would get pretty upset.
The rumor is the only reason we got Chelsea and Zelina at the last Saturday Night's Main Event is because fans were upset that there was no women's match. So that's why they added it last minute. But yeah,
so you gotta do something.
That was the question that I got asked. Do those two shows become men only shows because they have the women's only show the next day? And if so, are fans going to get outraged? And will it be real outrage or the fake outrage? I like to be mad about things on Twitter outrage. That's not even real. Or people getting mad about things that, yeah.
Well, I have an idea, actually. So for Saturday Night's Main Event, what they could do is, so like, let's say, for example, they do Liv versus Nikki Bella at Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
At Saturday Night's Main Event, they could have Liv and Raquel defend the tag titles against somebody.
Well, see, that was going to be my question later. Is Liv kept bringing up, I'm setting records as tag team champion. Is there a chance that it's Liv and Raquel defending against both Bellas?
I don't know if Brie would wrestle, though. That's the thing. I don't know if she is.
They've teased it on the Bella podcast.
They did, but I don't know. I really don't.
And then if Brie comes back, how much yes are we getting from crowds?
You're going to get a lot. You will.
So.
But I just don't know if Brie actually wrestles. I mean, teasing stuff, I mean, means something to an extent, but I wouldn't take it into too hard consideration, though.
Because I think twice Nikki has said something about, Brie, you're going to come back with me? Brie, you've been working out more, something like that or something. I don't know.
We'll see.
So then we got a death. We basically got a death on this show. A death and a resurrection. Because a man in all black jumped up on the announce table. And it was R-Truth. But it wasn't R-Truth when this ended. R-Truth enters in the same outfit he had on at Money in the Bank. Takes off the hood, takes off the ski mask, and says, don't let nobody tell you you don't matter. Don't let nobody tell you that your voice doesn't matter. They heard, they listened, they felt, they understood, and I'm back because of y'all. Truth reiterated that he was back because of the fans and the movement that they started. But he was back for himself as well, stating, quote, not only did you bring Truth back, you got me. Truth. Truth said that, I could have been funny back in the day, but that's not what I need to be anymore. I'm different. I'm alive. And that wasn't a lie. I wasn't a sideshow act. I'm not a gimmick. Pulls out a pair of scissors, and I'm like, oh, shit. What the fuck? He's about to cut his hair? And the crowd starts chanting, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. And he pulls his dreads up. Snip. He's got them in his hands. And he says, the truth has set me free. I am Ron Killings. I am the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now put some respect on my name. Fans cheered. He jumped off the table and walked away. And so now he is Ron Killings. I don't know if he's going to be Ron the Truth Killings or just Ron Killings, but the word going around And the report from Fightful, the report from PWU Insider, the report from Wrestling Observer are all that Truth basically put in his new deal that he gets to use the name Ron Killings. They signed him to a deal which is a lesser deal than what he was under and what he wanted. Basically what happened was he wanted one thing, they wanted to give him something else. They couldn't meet at a deal, and that's when they said, we're not going to re-sign you. Well, then all this happened. Truth ended up not responding to phone calls and messages, so Nick Khan had to jump in and get involved. Nick Khan finally reached Truth, Ron Killings, and they worked a meet in the middle thing. So what it sounds like is he's not going to get as much as he wanted pay-wise. They're not going to pay him as little as they wanted. They're meeting in the middle. And one thing that he got put in his new contract is, hey, this is going to be my final contract, WWE, one final run. I want to use my real name. So that way, when his deal is up and his time with WWE is done, that name means something again. Ron Killings will mean something again, not just R-Truth that he can't use later. So, guy got something nobody gets. Nobody. What'd you think of all this and Truth being back?
I mean, I kind of expected that they're going to use his Ron Killings name. You know, I think could happen actually.
Huh.
So remember in 2012, his I know you don't pay attention to the theme music, but like his entrance music was "The Truth Has Set Me Free."
I remember that.
No
I remember
music.
that. Yes.
What if that's his new entrance now? Like he has no music and just "The Truth Has Set Me Free."
So you don't think you don't think he raps to the ring?
No, that was an R-Truth thing. Like I think Ron Killings I'm not R-Truth. It's "The Truth Has Set Me Free."
But Ron Killings is a rapper. He's got new music coming out now. His new song, it doesn't sound like country. He says it's country. Great song. When it all adds up, great song. But it's not country. Anyways, I mean, he's Ron Killings himself, the real man, is a rapper. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to let it play out.
Of course, unless he uses one of his Ron Killings theme songs.
But I know the current theme song he had, pretty sure he wrote, produced, and all that, because I'm pretty sure he used it in TNA a couple times before he came back to WWE. But regardless, Truth is back. Truth died. He resurrected Ron Killings, and Ron Killings is now here. So I think it would be funny and a good move if someone tries to call him Truth and he goes, "No, I ain't Truth. I can tell you the truth, but I'm Ron." And he gets all serious and mad about it.
You think he's a heel or a babyface?
I think he might be a little in-betweener. Sometimes he'll be a good guy, but then sometimes people might say one or two things that sets him off a little bit.
I mean, there's really no such thing as heel or babyface anymore to live crowd, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, I thought they were almost going to start chanting him for a second.
Because you can say oh, this person's supposed to be a heel, and then they get cheered by the fans a lot.
I mean, the perfect example of that is the Hurt Syndicate. They're supposed to be heels, and the crowd just cheers the ever-loving crap out of them.
It's because people like the Hurt Business in WWE, so oh, they're basically the Hurt Business without being called the Hurt Business.
But they got it over. They got themselves over as heels last week, though, because they were in Denver, where Bobby used to live, and they talked about how Denver sucks, and Bobby had to leave to go move to Texas, and so that got him. That got him booed. That got him booed.
And I've just never been a big Denver guy myself either. Sorry to anyone who lives in Denver, but just saying.
Yeah, Bobby lives in Dallas now. Anyways, go to the back. Male members of Judgment Day met backstage. You see the new JD McDonough shirt?
Yeah, I did see it.
Looks like an old CM Punk shirt.
Really?
If I'm thinking correctly, CM Punk rib cage shirt. Yep. Here it is. So let me pull up here, let's do a comparison thing here. So we've got that there, boom, and then let me pull up the JD shirt. Come on, open. Why isn't it opening? Oh, there it goes. So if I do this here, let's go here. Let's move this over just a little bit. There's the new JD shirt because of the ribcage thing. And then here's the old CM Punk shirt. Soon as I saw the JD shirt, I'm like, oh, that looks like that old CM Punk ribcage shirt. Cool shirt though. I really like this JD shirt though. The iron lung. I like it. But anywho, Judgment Day backstage. Finn kept trying to like mess with Dom, it felt like. And they were like, hey, it's weird. Dom's in the tournament, but Finn's not in the tournament. And Dom goes, well, you know, you didn't qualify for Money in the Bank. I thought maybe you would want to be in another kind of tournament style thing. So I took the match. I took the spot. And Finn's like, yeah, okay, whatever, cool. But, you know, you saw what happened earlier. And JD said, you know, Dom could win. I could see Dom winning King of the Ring. And then we get our tag titles back. Then Roxanne runs in and goes, hey, and Finn's all happy for her. You won, congratulations. And then Liv walks in and goes, what are we all so happy about? She's not in a good mood, and she looks wrecked. Like, she looked like she just went through a car wreck, which was a great little way to do this. And Press is like, you know, I won. You know, I tried to help you. I did kind of help you because I broke up that pin from Kyrie. And Morgan's just like, yeah, congratulations. And she leaves. Finn looks over at Dom and goes, Liv don't look happy. You might want to go talk to her. And Dom's like, for like the fourth time going, I got a match right now I got to go to. And so he leaves and Finn's just laughing and all amused by all of this because he knows he's stirring the pot. Any thoughts?
Yep. Yep. I mean, not bad. I mean, yeah, just stirring the pot. But
I don't know what the final.
That's kinda,
I don't know what is the end goal here. Finn and Roxanne versus Dom and Liv in a mixed match.
I guess, but are they based? I wonder how long they're gonna do this. Are they gonna wait till SummerSlam like they did with Damian and Rhea?
They could. I could see that being a big SummerSlam match, especially Well, you need a really big SummerSlam match for Liv because they're in New Jersey, where she's from. I think Liv needs something that's built up big. Whether that's for the tag titles or whether that's this mixed tag team match. That they are.
I feel like the mixed tag would probably be bigger.
Same. So
another thing I did think about actually, since they're gonna be in New Jersey, do you think they're gonna make like a New York John Cena spinner belt during that weekend, or do you think they're gonna wait later?
No, I think that'll be the last time Cena's in New York, New Jersey.
So what are they gonna do? They're gonna make like a New York Knicks title belt.
I mean, you got plenty of options. You got the Knicks, you got the Nets, you've got the.
Well, which team is closer to New Jersey?
I mean, if you want to go there, they're in MetLife, so it's either or Jets or Giants. They both use that stadium.
So it's gonna be so they'll probably do two different ones: the Jets and the Giants.
I don't know. It depends. Like, well, let me look at the schedule here because we might have options of doing multiple shows. If we look at the WWE,
because I know for the Los Angeles they did the Rams and the Lakers,
right? Because I think they want a different one for each show, even if they're going to be in the same market multiple times. Like, I don't know what they do for Australia, but when we go to SummerSlam,
well, Australia, they'll probably just do Australian colors like they did for London and other places.
Okay, so let me look at the calendar here really fast. The SmackDown before SummerSlam has not been announced yet. That's weird. Unless there's no reason to do a double taping, though. So we know the Raw before SummerSlam is in Detroit, but we don't know where the SmackDown is on August 1st. That's interesting. And we know the week before that, SmackDown is in Cleveland, Ohio. But there's no reason that they would do like a double taping in Cleveland. So I don't know.
So the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Cleveland Browns title belt.
But then also, there's another interesting one. They have not put on their schedule the Raw after SummerSlam. But we do have the SmackDown after SummerSlam in Montreal, Quebec. There's a Raw and a SmackDown missing.
I know they're not going to come back to St. Louis for Cena because they already said this is Cena's
Right.
last time in St. Louis for Backlash. But like,
Now,
here's the one thing though, like every time Cena's announced to the ring in every like city or state he's in, they literally say showing his presence one final time here.
exactly.
So it's like so they're basically saying they can't go back for Cena.
Now, when they go to New Jersey, New York, whatever, there's a lot of options there, sports teams wise. Like I said, you got the Knicks, you got the Nets, you've got the Yankees, you got the Mets, you got the Giants, you got the Jets, you've got the Rangers for hockey.
The only thing I gotta say about that is whatever like team they pick for like their title belt, they're gonna piss off another big portion of New York because there's a lot of people that say they either like hate the Red Sox, they hate the Yankees.
Well, Red
because
Sox-
Red Sox and
Red-
Yankees are mortal enemies.
Red Sox will be when they go to Boston. That's completely different.
Never mind, but like
Boston Red Sox. But no.
Like-
There's a big, I'm either a Yankee fan. It's just like in LA. You're either,
Yankees fan or Mets fan. That's what I meant.
Yes, Yankees or Mets. It's like in LA. Angels or Dodgers. So
I just feel like a lot of Yankees fans or Mets fans don't really like each other because like, oh, why are you rooting for the Mets or why are you rooting for the Yankees?
I can see it being Yankees, and then like they did tonight where they had the Cena on the shirt in the circle and they had like the lines were from like the Suns logo. I could see them doing that with Cena in the middle and then the pinstripes for Yankees on the shirt. And then pinstripes on the title too.
Oh, that actually make more sense. Didn't Cena used to wear like a lot of Yankee stuff for like during his Thugonomics gimmick?
I just know he would get a different jersey every time. Sometimes it's basketball, sometimes it's baseball, sometimes it's football. I don't remember all the jerseys. He had a different one every time. But
unless they have Cena choose like which like team he wants for like those spinners anytime he goes to those places.
yeah, I wonder how much input Cena does have. Like some places, like they're going to Louisville, and you said it was University of Kentucky. Not really any other choice. Like when they went to Knoxville, there was not much other
college.
Yeah, there's not much other choice there. But then, like when they went to LA and they were in Bakersfield, Bakersfield doesn't have a sports team. They really don't have a college team, so they just picked another LA team. So that's how they got Rams and Lakers.
St. Louis, we got the Blues, which I mean we were in the Enterprise Center.
Yep.
Which I wouldn't be shocked if we got Cardinals one instead, because I know WWE does sell like that St. Louis Cardinals luchador mask, but I feel like the Blues was probably the safer option since they were in the Enterprise Center.
True, that does make sense. But moving forward, we have our first King of the Ring match. It was a fatal four-way: Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio, the Intercontinental Champion. So we've gone a whole 30 minutes on this show without any action. And I'm like, damn, give me a match. Zayn wiped out Breaker with a dive. Penta wiped out Zayn with a dive. And Dom wiped out Penta with a dive. Braun Breaker then nailed Dom with a leaping clothesline off the apron and over the announce table. This then led to a break about a couple minutes, maybe about 5 minutes into the match. Zayn then hit Penta with a sunset flip powerbomb during the break for a 2. After the break, Penta powerbombed Dom, and Braun Breaker hit Zayn with a Frankensteiner. Cole said something about this, and I didn't hear exactly, but he said something about giving, I don't know, he said something about Pat and the name Frankenstein. I don't remember exactly, but it was weird. Penta then hit Breaker with a DDT. Dom then tried to steal the pin, and Breaker kicked out. Dom then blocked Zayn's Blue Thunder Bomb and went for the Three Amigos, but Zayn blocked the final suplex and hit the Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. Penta then hit Zayn with the Penta Driver, and Dom caught Penta in a schoolboy. Referee didn't count the fall because Penta's shoulders weren't fully down, and that kind of like messed up the spot there when they were like trading moves and pinfalls over and over and over. Penta then followed this up with the Canadian Destroyer and got a near fall on Dom. Breaker then sprinted around the ring and cut down Penta with a spear, only to be taken down by L.A. Knight. Yeah. Hit him with a BFT and he was done. Back in the ring, Sami Zayn gave Dom an exploder, haluva kick, and pinned him to advance in the King of the Ring. So Sami Zayn does now move on to the second round. I thought it was a good match, really fun. Not, our overly crazy four-way where like You know, two people will do a lot of stuff, and the other two are just there to be there. I thought all four men got time to shine. All four men got to do big moves and big things, and we set up something between LA Knight and Braun Breaker. So yeah, Breaker doesn't advance, but they advanced Breaker into something with LA Knight. What do you think of the match?
I thought Sammy winning this match was perfect. Sammy's probably going to go to the finals most likely. Most likely win it.
I can see it.
So, yeah, I think he probably will win it. Do you know what I think is going to happen actually?
He beats Gunther for
I
the
think
belt.
Sammy's going to win the tournament. Hold on. Sammy's going to win the tournament. He's going to win. He's probably going to beat Gunther at SummerSlam if they do go that route. Seth's going to cash in. And then Sammy has to go on this whole like redemption tour. He's going to enter himself in the Rumble, win the Rumble, then challenge Seth at Mania and beat Seth.
You think they're going full Daniel Bryan story?
Maybe.
I mean, Bryan didn't win
Daniel Bryan never won the Rumble, though. That's the thing.
No, he didn't win the Rumble, but the next Mania won the belt. So it's like 90% Daniel Bryan story.
90%, yeah.
I mean, it's possible, and it would work. They've wanted to make Sammy their new Daniel Bryan. Vince wanted Sammy to be the next Daniel Bryan, but he never really pulled the trigger enough. But at one point, Vince was like, we're going to do with him like we did with Bryan. And that's why there was a time when Sammy first came to the main roster that they were beating him and beating him and beating him because Vince thought, hey, it worked for Daniel. We beat him and beat him and beat him, and the fans got more and more behind him. But it just didn't work for Sammy. Maybe they could try it again now. I don't know.
Well, I think then they had him become like a joke, having him lose to Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah. No,
or the Bloodline as a joke.
I don't think anybody but Sami Zayn could have pulled off that Johnny Knoxville match. You gotta give him his props.
But
you gotta give him his flowers. Kudos.
Yeah, but he was kind of being treated like a joke, though. Like when he first tried joining the Bloodline, people were looking at that as a joke. And when Triple H became in charge, Triple H actually made it better, and Sami was actually goofy, and it got the fans over. It got him over with the fans.
Right. But overall, I thought this match was good, and Sami advancing was the right call. Kathy Kelly's in the back with AJ Styles. He was pissed off about losing last week and didn't appreciate Seth sending Paul Heyman to threaten him. He also didn't like how Judgment Day felt like they run things and whatnot. So basically, he was like, I'm going to go deal with all this. I'm like, you do that, Mr. Whatever you want to be, savior guy. He wants to save us from the heel groups. I don't know. Kathy Kelly was about to send it back to Michael Cole and goes, wait, hold on, Michael, wait 1 second. There's something going on over here. We might have a development of something. Let follow me. So the camera guy follows her. She approaches the New Day, who's speaking with Grayson Waller. I think they say something about he's got to dump Austin Theory. And then they're basically just like, hey, Kathy. And Kathy was like, so when are you going to defend your titles again? They're like, whoa. We just did 2 weeks ago. We don't need to do it every week. We're the champions. We're the best champions. We'll do it in due time. Just the same old from the New Day. Not much
Honestly,
to it.
I'm curious to see how much longer they'll hold the tag titles or who's going to beat them.
Right.
Because I don't know. I still feel like the Raw tag division has been a little lackluster.
Oh yeah.
SmackDown's best tag division in wrestling right now, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I don't know who beats them. Unless it is the Creed Bros that beats them, maybe. We'll see.
Hold on, I gotta respond to a message from Nick really fast. Anyways.
I remember those old Tim and Nick days from PW Unlimited, the one with you guys didn't even have a camera, I'm pretty sure.
No. That was before I had
days.
That was before I had a camera. That was 2017, 2018. I didn't think I got a camera until the end of 18, early 19 or something like that. No, probably mid to late 18s when I got a camera.
And those Wednesday night podcasts where you guys just talked about any wrestling.
Yep.
I remember those days.
So in the back, Sami Zayn bumps into Karrion Kross. Big pop from the crowd for Karrion Kross. Love to hear it. Kross was happy that Zayn won on his own, and is taking what Kross is telling him to heart. Zayn had no idea what the hell he was talking about. Cross said that he used Knight's interference to get ahead and get a win. And Sammy was kind of just like, no, I just won. He's like, no, Sammy, you're the real manipulator here. Using other people to get what you need. Zayn said that he won because he's good enough. Just like he was good enough to be a world champion. He will win a world title. Zayn warned him to stop bothering me because he was also good enough to handle Cross. So then they tell us, we got Nikki Bella returning tonight, but we got another big return and a former world champion coming back next week. And we get a big old video of Asuka. Asuka is cleared. Asuka is ready. Asuka is back next week in the Queen of the Ring tournament. We have 2 tournament matches announced for next week's show. In the Queen of the Ring, it will be Asuka, Stephanie Vacquier, Raquel Rodriguez, and Ivy Nile. In the King of the Ring tournament, it'll be Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and a mystery opponent to be named a little bit later. We don't know when. They say Adam Pearce has a week to name the opponent, the participant. So then Nikki Bella comes out. Nikki Bella makes her way to the ring. She gets a pretty good pop from the crowd. It's a legend, a Hall of Famer, nostalgia act coming back. And she talks about, we got something big coming up in a month. Next month will be the WWE Evolution All-Women's Pay-Per-View. And I still remember main eventing that first one all the way back then. That's when our division was incredible. And where the division is now has become even more incredible with people like Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Stephanie Vacquier, and Julia. She completely butchered Stephanie's name. And then Liv Morgan storms her ass down to the ring and says, excuse me, you put some respect on my name because I am the best in this division and I run this division. So when you talk about the best, you talk about me. And Liv killed it. Nikki cutting a generic Nikki, I'm not the best on promos, Nikki Bella promo. But Liv made this good and Liv killed this. Morgan says she was the most talented woman in this division, proving it again and again, day after day. Nikki is jealous of her. She has everything Nikki doesn't. Morgan has respect, a championship, and a man. That line popped me. I was like, oh, there you go. That's a good one. Nikki then wondered if Dom really belonged to her or Roxanne Perez. Nikki wanted Morgan to congratulate Perez on taking her title shot and her man. Nikki then went to leave the ring. Morgan said, at least she was a champion, while Nikki was merely nothing more than a reality show diva. Nikki then went under the ropes to get back in the ring, and Liv grabbed her and laid her out with the Oblivion. So we're setting up something, whether that is Nikki versus Liv, the Bellas versus Liv and Raquel for the tag titles. I don't know. We talked about it earlier. They've teased on the podcast to Brie may be coming back, but we just don't know yet. So as the safe prediction would be Liv and Nikki at Evolution in one of the top matches on that show.
Oh yeah, speaking of Total Divas, I forgot to ask this earlier, but do you have a favorite Total Divas episode?
No, because I can't remember. All I remember, I never watched it. I had an.
Or do you have a favorite clip though? Have you ever watched not full episode, but the clips?
So I had an ex that liked the show, and when it would come on, I kind of wouldn't pay attention, but not really. If I'm going to be completely honest.
I remember one episode when Renee Paquette was on Total Divas.
I do have one. It's when Natty's trying to be all hot and sexy, and TJ's watching wrestling.
I know what you're talking about.
TJ's on the couch watching wrestling, and she's trying to be all cute, so she goes and changes into some bra and panties, and he's still just ignoring her, and she's all trying to get some from him, and he just don't care. Yeah, that's the one that plays everywhere all the time on social media, so it would be that clip. And you can tell.
I was in 4th grade watching that, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
And you can tell how uncomfortable Natty kind of was because she was very awkward in the whole thing.
She looked like she didn't want to do it. Honestly,
that's what I say. She kind of came off as very uncomfortable and awkward the whole time.
Well, mine was. This is when Renee was on the show, her and Dean
John
or Moxley. Yeah, they were having dinner with Renee's family. This this random dude took Renee's hat and Moxley starts running down the street chasing the guy and got the hat back.
I forgot about that one until you brought it up. When you said family dinner with the family, I was like, oh, it's a hat thing. But no, I
It was
can't
the
remember.
hat one.
I can't remember ever watching a full episode. But yeah.
And this was, I think this was also in the same episode. Like Renee was trying to buy some like nice clothes for Mox because she's like, I don't want him to like just be like just show up to dinner while just wearing this jacket and jeans.
I mean, if it was up to him,
So like she was trying to get him to like wear a suit and everything or something nice.
If it was up to him, he'd wear jeans, a white t-shirt, and a leather jacket. He's a simple man.
I mean, when I met him, he just wore like a navy blue t-shirt and jeans. Just simple man. Doesn't have to wear anything fancy.
Exactly. But also, before we get into the main event here, I'm going to get the poll going on Twitch. What did you think of Raw? I liked it. It was all right. And at this time on Raw, they also did officially confirm John Cena versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship at Night of Champions. So Punk, who back in the day said, I will never do a Saudi show, I will never be one of them. He's one of them. So
unless they're paying him extra to work Saudi, I don't know.
I think you get a bonus for doing international shows already. So I don't know if they're going to pay
maybe he just wants the bonus. Who knows?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Remember, his goal when he came back was make a bunch of money. I'm not here to make friends or anything. I'm here to main event WrestleMania and make a bunch of money. That's what he said. So
he main evented Mania, so I think all he's got to do is make money.
Yep.
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like some people might criticize or some people might wonder like if Punk's ever going to win a world title in this, like during this like return to WWE.
I don't think so. I don't think so, and I don't think he needs to.
He doesn't need to. I think his whole thing is probably just putting over like the other people and just making a bunch of money in main event and Mania. I think as long as he does both those things, he's satisfied.
In AEW, they needed him to be the champion because he was their biggest star. He was their most mainstream guy. So him with the title gave that title credibility.
But yeah, he never wanted to win it.
Right, but in WWE, he doesn't need it. Because WWE has so many mainstream stars and top acts. Not saying AEW doesn't. Back then, they had a couple. Now they have way more. So they're good. But when like Punk was there and Punk was the champion and all that kind of stuff, all they really had was like Punk and Moxley. They were still trying to build up Hangman. They had the title on Hangman at one point, but it was kind of just whatever. But other than like Punk and Moxley and like Jericho, they really didn't have anybody else. Huh?
Or I think Kenny was injured.
But I'm talking about like anybody that mainstream would recognize, even outside of wrestling. And it would have been Punk. It would have been
Bryan Danielson.
Was this right? What was the Punk stuff right before Danielson came in?
Same time.
I'm trying to think of him with the belt. Well, no. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Same time. So, but even at that though, Danielson. So like Punk and Jericho for sure, mainstream audiences would know who they are, even if you're not a wrestling fan. Dean Ambrose a little bit, and I guess yeah, Danielson a little bit because of that yes chant.
Yes chant, and like people know Jericho from like his movies and stuff.
Well, Jericho's done a lot of TV stuff as well, and he's got Fozzy.
Fozzy, yeah. This man was in Terrifier 3.
I mean, Jericho's done a bunch of Jericho's on. Oh, what was it? Was he on what's it called? Masked Singer. He did that. And he's done other he was on Dancing with the Stars.
Sharknado.
He did Dancing with the Stars.
He was also in Sharknado.
Yeah. So yeah,
I don't think anyone really likes those movies.
Chris Jericho's done a lot of outside wrestling things, so which I'm shocked that no one's like got Jericho for more bigger movies. Because Jericho can act. Like, he's good. So I'm shocked that Jericho has not done more, like, and I don't know if it's a he doesn't want to thing. I'm just shocked. Like, I don't know if he wants to be an actor. I don't know if he wants to be the next John Cena, Batista, Rock, whatever. But
remember his old TV show, like, I'm Chris Jericho?
No.
Yeah, like, I remember back, I think this was in 2012. He was taking time off from WWE to shoot, like, his like mini TV show, like
Here
I'm
it
Chris
is.
Jericho, and he was like working on becoming an actor.
It was a web series called But I'm Chris Jericho. Premiere was on YouTube, and it premiered in 2013.
Yeah, he
It
was taking time
says-
off from WWE to like work on that.
Says the series debuted on Action's web channel on YouTube in 2013 before being broadcast by the linear television channel in 2015 in Canada. In 2017, it was picked up for a second season by CBC Comedy, with both seasons airing on CBC Gem. So it was only in Canada. That's why I never heard of it. Interesting.
I know he took time. I remember seeing a couple of those, and it was basically just Jericho working on becoming an actor.
Well,
And he
let's
was taking
see.
all these acting classes.
Jericho was in MacGruber in 2010. That might be like the biggest movie he was in, MacGruber.
Remember those MacGruber Pepsi commercials?
Yeah, he was in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I remember that. He was a KKK Grand Wizard.
Oh, geez.
And then he did the Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3, Sharknado 3, and then TV-wise,
Do you ever liked one of those Sharknado movies?
never watched them. I think Seth Rollins
Really?
in one. I think Seth Rollins is in one of them. Yeah, I never watched them.
Seth Rollins was in one of them. Kurt Angle was in one. Kurt Angle played like a fire chief in one of them.
That's funny. But as far as like TV stuff is going, we're not going to spend too much time on this. But he did Robot. No. Oh yeah, he hosted. It was supposed to be like a what was that show? It was supposed to be like a ripoff of BattleBots. It was called Robot Combat League. He was the host of that. And then he was on the show Hollywood Game Night. He was on the Eric Andre show. He did an episode of At Midnight. He was on Tanked, Hot Ones. What is this? This doesn't have a Wikipedia page. It's called The Legend of ... with Chris Jericho. He hosted it, but it's so nothing that it doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. He did an episode of America's Got Talent. I didn't know that. 2019. And then in 2022, he was on The Masked Singer. I could have swore he was on Dancing with... Oh, right there, 2011. Dancing with the Stars. So... I never saw his Tanked episode, and I thought I've seen every Tanked episode. Interesting. I'm going to have to go find that one. I love Tanked. You watch Tanked?
Never heard of it.
What? It's on the Animal Planet, and it's these guys from New York that build fish tanks for people all around the country. Badass.
Nope, never heard of it.
Badass fish tanks, too. Fish tanks and ponds in your backyard and all kinds of stuff. Anyways, main event. World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Jey Uso, Gunther. Jey gets a big entrance with his son. Come down through the crowd after Gunther. Gunther does the most Gunther entrance you've ever seen. He's got no emotion on his face, not reacting to anything. Walks straight down to the ring. Gets in the ring, does his little pose. Michael Cole is scared to talk. Wade's over here trying to bait Michael Cole to say something so Gunther will come over and beat his ass. And we're going to break about 90 seconds in. Come back. And they are talking about how, you know, Jay's had a bunch of matches since WrestleMania, and Gunther's only had one. Jay's body's all beat up. Gunther's body's not beat up, but he may be a little rusty. So Jay went for a sleeper a couple times early on in this match. Gunther escaped, but Jay remained in control through a break. Jay hit a flying crossbody after a break for a 2. Jay came back, nursing his midsection, selling the damage that we've seen over the last couple of weeks. Gunther booted Jay right in the midsection repeatedly and ripped off his shirt to expose that his ribs are taped. Gunther ripped up the tape while continuing to target the midsection of Jey Uso. Jay fought back momentarily until Gunther hit him with a German suplex outside the ring. This led to a break about 9 minutes into the match. After the match, Jay countered a vertical suplex with one of his own. Fans yeeted as Jay fought back with strikes. Jay went for a running hip attack, and Gunther ducked. Gunther applied a sleeper into the ropes. Jay couldn't really follow this up, so Gunther gave him a backdrop onto the barricade. At one point, Jay did try to go for a spear, but Gunther clobbered him with a clothesline. Jay then reversed a powerbomb into a Hurricane Rana and got a 2 off of it. Gunther hit a powerbomb and got a 2. Then a spear. Never seen Gunther spear anybody before and got a 2. Have you ever seen Gunther spear anybody?
Maybe like once or twice.
I think Wade even said, I've never seen Gunther do that before. So Jay then failed again.
I don't think he's not really known for the spear.
Right.
No, I think I've only seen him do like once or twice as like a whatever move.
Like I've seen him like do like a shoulder tackle, knock people over, but like full on spear, crazy. Jay failed again to apply a rear naked choke. Gunther, but countered a Gunther attempt and hit his own spear. Jay missed a splash and sold his ribs, and Gunther caught him in a sleeper. Jay fought towards the ropes, but Gunther repeatedly pulled him back into the middle of the ring. It seemed like Jay was on the verge of going out, but Gunther let go and hammered away with elbows. Jay slipped out and applied a sleeper of his own. This time, Gunther reversed into another sleeper right in the middle of the ring. Jay couldn't fight it any longer and passed out. Some fans began to start screaming because they weren't sure what was going on. And finally, the referee called for the bell. There we go. Gunther wins, and Gunther is our new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Jay rolls to the outside. His son is on the outside checking on him as Gunther poses in the ring, and fireworks go off after this 22-minute match. This match ruled. I thought these two killed it. What'd you think?
Oh yeah, this was a great main event. I did not expect Gunther to win. If you had me predict going into this match, I thought Jay was going to retain.
Best part about all this is when the match starts, I'm like, this feels like a big deal. That was the best part, is that they built this up. Because it could have just felt like, another Raw main event. No, it felt like a big deal. So that was kudos on them for sure. But as I go over and refresh all these polls, you know what we thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. As far as the Threads poll does go, 53% liked the show, 26% thought it was just all right, and 21% didn't like it. Looking over on Twitter X, 80% liked the show, 16% thought it was just all right, and 3% didn't like it. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 84% liked the show, 10% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. Looking over here, this person says one of the most entertaining of the year. Versus thank God Jay lost. Gunther is my world champion. Ron Killings cut his locks and he's no longer our truth. As far as the live poll does go, 83% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. Finally, as far as the Twitch poll does go, everybody that voted liked the show. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Luke, tell me they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21 and also at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, I will be back here on Wednesday for AEW Summer Blockbuster. It's another goddamn 4-hour show. We have Ospreay and Swerve and Anna Jay and the returning Ty Mello against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford and a couple other matches announced that I can't remember off the top of my head. But we'll be back there. It's going to be a late night again, just like last week. So with that, have a great rest of your Monday. It's Tuesday for some people. It's almost Tuesday for us in 5 minutes. But with that, have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you back here Wednesday for AEW. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to hit up a raid really fast. We're going to send you to